Hi there, it's Maggie from Knitting in the Park. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to knit the bobble stitch. A bobble is a simple knitting technique that creates texture in your projects. You'll simply follow the pattern instructions until you get to the stitch where you'd like to make the bobble, and then follow the simple steps in this video tutorial, or go on over to myknittinginthepark.com for a step-by-step textual instructions. You can work this simple technique in garter stitch, you can work it in stockinette stitch. The swatch I'm working on is in stockinette, just to show you, I give a little bit more stitch definition and clarity in the tutorial here. So just keep that in mind as we go through the tutorial, and we'll hop on over to my coffee table here and I'll show you how it's done. So I've got my swatch here of both the yarn over bobbles and the knit front and back bobbles, and I'll show you how to do one of each in the following row of my swatch. I'm using circular needles here, but you can use straight needles, it doesn't really matter. It all depends on your preference for knitting and the project on which you are working. So we'll just knit 4 here to get to my bobble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in this bobble we're going to use the yarn over as the increase method. Well, yarn over and knit 1. So we're going to make 6 stitches within this 1 stitch here. So we're going to yarn over and then knit 1. Now don't pull the stitch off of your left hand needle just yet. We're going to continue making 4 more stitches. So yarn over a second time, knit 1, and then one more time, wrap the yarn around your right hand needle and knit 1. Now that you've made your 6 stitches, you can pull it off the left hand needle. And if you're curious or worried, you can always count. So this is our first yarn over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to work back and forth a few rows all across these 6 stitches and make our bobble. So we'll turn it to the wrong side here, slip the first stitch purlwise, and purl 5 stitches, 4, 5, and then we'll turn back to the right side of our work. Again, we'll slip that first stitch purlwise, and then we'll knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll start the decreases. So we're going to flip it around to the wrong side again. And we're going to work purl 2 together 3 times. So we'll take our 6 stitches down to 3 stitches. Finn is going to town on his hand. So insert your right hand needle through 2 stitches and purl them together. We'll do it a second time. So insert your right hand needle through 2 stitches and purl them as 1. And then we'll do that one more time here to get down to 3 stitches. Now, if you have another double decrease that you prefer to use, you're welcome to go ahead and do that. I think the one we're going to work here is pretty simple though. So we'll slip a stitch purlwise, knit these 2 together, and then we're going to take this stitch which we slipped, pick it up with our left hand needle, bring it up and over. So now we have our bobble. And sometimes you'll, my cable needle's getting in the way, a cable for my circular needle's getting in the way here. So sometimes you might want to just fill it out with your finger, you know, push it to the front here. And then after this, you would just continue knitting. I'm working these every 4 stitches. So let's try one with knit front and back, and then I'll show you how to purl through the back loop on the other side for when you are finishing off your bobble stitch. So that was the yarn over, this is the knit front and back. So a knit front and back, if you're not familiar with it, this is the front of your stitch and this is the back of your stitch. So a knit front and back is coming through and knitting through the front like normal. And then without taking it off your needle, you'll come through the back of the stitch and knit the back leg. So that's 2 stitches increased. Don't take it off your left hand needle. You'll go back through and knit through the front, bring it back around, knit through the back. So that's 4 stitches. And then we'll come around to the front, knit through the front, and then come around through the back and knit through the back. So we've knit front and back into the same stitch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. So now we'll do the same thing as the yarn over bobble. Slip 1 purlwise, then purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll turn it to the front here, so we're working on the right side of the work. Slip 1 purlwise, and then knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll turn it 1 more time. And this is where we start our decreases. So purl 2 together, purl 2 together, and purl 2 together. Last step here is slip 1 purlwise, knit 2 together, and then using your left hand needle, pick up that slipped stitch and bring it up and over. So we're back to 1. So there you have it, your 2 bobbles. Now I'm just going to knit to the end. Okay, so I am working on a stockinette swatch here, so my bumps are all on the back. So I've purled across to my stitch, but you can work these bobbles in a garter as well. So I've come here. This is my bobble stitch that I've created on the other side, and like the knit through the back that we used to make the second bobble, we're going to purl through the back. So if this leg here is the front of the stitch and this leg here is the back of the stitch, you're going to insert your right hand needle through the back of the stitch and purl. And that just helps to make sure that the bobble lays in the right way. So we'll knit to my next stitch, my next bobble stitch here. So this was the yarn over bobble stitch. This is the front of the stitch, and this is the back leg. So we're going to come through the back of the stitch and purl that. So give me 1 second here and we'll take a look back at the bobbles we've created. So it's a simple way to add some definition or a little bit of a pop or flare. These are great in hats, shawls. They're just a lot of fun. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments.